Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about the risk of bias assessment. Bias is part of each and every study. Like every study when it's conceived is biased. In a meta-analysis, bias can happen when you're collecting data or selecting the studies that you want to include in your analysis. So two authors should do this independently, the data collection and the selection of studies. If there is any differences, a third author or a senior author can be involved to come to a consensus. But the studies that you have already included or decided to include in your analysis, there are biases involved in those individual studies, and you should report them using a quality of assessment or a risk of bias assessment tool. Depending on the type of study, there are various tools that you can use. No one tool is perfect, but for case control or cohort studies, I typically use the Newcastle-Ottawa scale. Any scale that's easy to understand, easy to do, feel free to use them. For diagnostic accuracy studies that report on sensitivity, specificity, etc., the CODAS 2 risk of bias assessment tool is a good one. Randomized control trials, you can use the CHADAD scale. Studies where you are evaluating the prognostic effect of a variable or a intervention, you can use the QUIPS study tool. I have summarized all these study tools or the ones that I have personally used in the website forestplot.com, and you can see the headings or the column headings that they use to collect the information. You can use like a scoring system and then come up with the final score and say like score greater than 6 or score greater than 7 in Newcastle-Ottawa scale corresponds to a higher quality study. Or you can use those smiley faces, like more red smiley face means the risk of bias is high, more green means the risk of bias is low, and same thing with the QUIPS study assessment tool. If you need more information or if you need the actual Excel sheet, just email me. I'm happy to share the ones that I've used in my previous studies. Based on the results of your risk of bias assessment, you could do a subgroup analysis and see how the results differ between low quality studies and high quality studies. In your manuscript, dedicate a paragraph in the methods section on the type of tools or the type of tool you're going to use. In the results section, dedicate a paragraph, 3 to 4 sentences on the results of your assessment. And based on the results, you can also mention salient points or features of the overall risk of bias in the limitations section. Don't have to describe all the detail. The main study tool assessment can be presented as a supplementary file, but in your manuscript, there has to be a mention about what tool you're using and what the results of the tool are, and also dedicate a paragraph in the limitations section. Once again, no one tool is perfect, but based on the study, use one that's easy to understand, easy to do, and easy to present. There are other study tools as well, like the Cochrane Collaboration Risk of Bias Assessment tool. I have personally not used that, but you can always find more information just by Google search, and then you should find an Excel sheet or a PDF file where um, you can use those details on your Excel sheet and then do the risk of bias assessment. Many times you can even read other studies and you can see how people have done or used a particular tool that you are interested in those studies, and just adapt that model if it fits in your meta-analysis. Again, no one tool is perfect, but you can find more information on my website forestplot.com. Thank you.